everybody, it's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having a great closeout to your week. Last couple of days for most of us. I am really truly in a space right now. I would not normally be doing this early in the day, but I'm literally lit right now with love and appreciation for who I am. And I want to thank a young brother that I am growing closer to each day. It's a relationship that started as I would describe it probably as a mentor-mentee thing, which lasted about 2 minutes. And the reason I say that is this brother pours into me as much as I pour into him. I'm in my mid to late 50s. I'll be 57 in a couple of months. He's in his early 40s, but the brother is tight. And he is striving to be the best man he can be. And it's an honor that he sits with me. And I'll put it that way because I don't want it to make it seem it's a one-way thing, because it's not. But he leaned into me and this thing started. And he sent me something last night that totally set my heart and my spirit ablaze. And I am going to share it with you, and I'm going to elaborate on it just a little. And we're going to explore this thing because I think it's so important. He sent me a text last night. It says, "Bro, I'm sitting here thinking about life, and I realize that I am the man of my childhood dreams. As men, we place so much emphasis on acquisition and leveling up that we don't appreciate the men we are. I think an important message men need to hear is be thankful for the man we are. It doesn't mean we shouldn't keep striving to be better, but we have to first appreciate who we are. I think it is an amazing message that all men, but especially black men, need to hear. I would love your thoughts on and take on it." And I just went back to him real briefly and said it's absolutely on point. JD, I appreciate and I love you, bro. But what he's saying is what we are driven to, especially black men. We have been commodified. So we are constantly measuring ourselves on what we can provide materially, what type of home we can put our wives and kids in, what kind of cars are we driving, what status we have in the socioeconomic arena. And all that's great. We are striving to be viewed and seen as the quintessential man, or in this case, the quintessential black man. And what we are losing in this is who we've already become. He said something that was so powerful. He says, "I have become the man of my childhood dreams." And I get that. When you sometimes you can be, and I'm guilty of it as well. You can be so caught up in becoming, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm about becoming. I'm about waking up and growing intentionally every day. But if you don't learn to be in the moment, if you don't learn how to appreciate, if you don't visit gratitude daily and be thankful for the man that you are now, it's going to ultimately eat you up, because you're never going to get to a point where you're satisfied. And I don't mean be satisfied in settling. I mean the level of fulfillment you need to feel. I'm gonna explain something to you that is sort of off topic but very on topic. Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And the reasons behind suicidality between male and female are different. Depression and sadness and an inability to escape the sadness is really heavily linked to the suicides that you see in women, an emotional pain. Men, it is a feeling of uselessness. When we have an idea of what we're supposed to be and we can't achieve it, we are literally, our brains move from front to back. We literally are designed to be fulfilled off of what we accomplish. But if we never reach a platform where we can celebrate who we are, we're never going to be at a point where we feel fulfilled. And at some point, we're going to be chasing stuff, and we can literally be accumulating stuff. But because we haven't learned to celebrate in the moment, we will get sad. I've seen people that everybody's looking at and thinking, man, they've got everything. They've got the world in the palm of their hands, and they take their lives because they haven't learned to be in the moment. They haven't learned to appreciate themselves. They haven't given themselves also the permission to be in process. It's either I've got it or I don't. We don't look at the progressive steps we take along the way. To me, success isn't the goal. Success is the progression that gets you to the goal. In other words, I don't simply celebrate my 90-day goal. I celebrate every day that I have, that I make any type of progress. I don't care how small it is, because the progress means I'm not the person I was before I achieved it. It may be one step, but I'm not where I was before I took the step. And that progress needs to be celebrated. Now, it's celebrated in correlation with the total impact of what needs to be done. I'm not celebrating the one step the same way I celebrate the completion of the task, but I'm celebrating. Why? Because it sends signals to my brain that is interpreted by my mind and my spirit as I am fulfilling my destiny. And that is a reward that goes to the pleasure reward center of the brain. And it gives me a sense of fulfillment, and it releases certain chemicals that make me feel good, that lift me up, that give me the energy and the desire to drive myself towards what it is I'm trying to do. But if I don't learn to appreciate myself, if I don't see the beauty in the man that I am now, I can never truly be fulfilled, because I'm chasing a ghost. Why? Because I'm never going to 100% be completely what I'm capable of being. I will die growing. And so if I don't learn how to be in the moment, if I don't learn how to love myself and appreciate the man I am, stop allowing external and exogenous forces to come in and define me. I have to look at myself and say, am I doing XYZ? How close am I? What can I say I'm great at right now? What can I say I'm a beast at right now? What can I say people can trust me to do consistently? And I guarantee you there are some things, and if not, just work on becoming that, but give yourself permission to be in the process. We don't like even talking about the process. We just want the promise. We want the prize. But there has to be a process before there's a prize. There has to be a progressive movement towards something before there's a prize. There has to be a winding up and a releasing of something before you can sit up and hit the mark. We've got to learn to love one another. But more importantly, we've got to learn to love us. Men, especially black men, brothers. And that's why I'm so excited about Brothers Unfiltered, which we're doing now every third Thursday of each month. And thanks to the Sunrise Project and their team, we are literally in a place, and that first one went unbelievably, tremendously well. And I'm excited about it because this is the place where we get to come and we get to talk about the things that we can't talk about in any other spaces. We get to visit things that are challenging us that we don't want to talk about. We can talk about the feelings of vulnerability and inadequacy and insufficiency and all these other things. We can talk about the fears of not being enough. We can talk about all these different things that we keep to ourselves while we are outwardly expressing that we are all that, and that everybody is demanding that we be. and not really talking about the concerns we have. We're not talking about the fact that we don't feel seen or heard. We're not talking about any of that. So in essence, what I'm saying right now is it's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to do something great within our own spectrum. Before I can change the world, I got to make sure I'm good. Before I can sit up and be a great husband, I've got to make sure I'm okay. Before I can be a great father, I've got to make sure I'm okay. All of it depends upon me being good. And I don't just mean physically or emotionally. I mean really, truly being anchored in the sense of I'm me and I'm good. And I want every brother that hears this, share it with another brother. Tell him, hey, celebrate the man you are. No, it's not the man you should be, but it's not the man you used to be either. And that's the thing. My grandfather used to always say that. Then I'm done. My grandfather used to always say that. Somebody would ask him, how is he? He said, hey, I'm good. He says, I'm not the man I should be, but I thank God I'm not the man I used to be. Chills just went down my spine because it's the very essence of what JD was sharing. We got to learn how to say, I'm not there yet, but I'm not where I used to be. And embrace the journey. Embrace it, but be in the moment while you're looking ahead. Be in the moment, because there's beauty in the moment. A lot of the times, some of the problems within our relationships is because we can't be in the moment. We are so wound up trying to get that thing up there that we're missing the moment, and our women sense it. Our children feel it. And our heart yearns it. So look, men, love yourself. And I don't mean that in some whimsical, superficial way. I mean really, truly start to take some time. Take an inventory of the man you are now and celebrate those desirable qualities, those things that are worthy or noteworthy about yourself. Take note of the things that need work and put in the work, but be willing to celebrate who you are now. Be willing to celebrate where your journey has brought you. That's all I have for you now. You know, I always say, I live my life on full, and when I leave this place, I'm going to die on E. And that's one of the most beautiful thoughts in my mind, is that I'm not taking, one of my mentors used to always say, rest in peace, Dr. Miles Monroe used to always say that the cemetery is the wealthiest place on the planet, because you'll find books not written, businesses not starting, corporations and conglomerate work not done, inventions not created, and ideas not searched, and all of that potential just went to the grave with the one that it was given to. I will not take my potential to the grave. I will not rest on what God has given me to bless others with, whether it's in the Black community, whether it's in my family, whether it's with my brothers, whatever it is. I'm going to touch somebody. Every chance I get, I'm going to encourage people. I'm trying to get you to understand there's something bigger out there, and it starts with you loving what's on the inside of you. On that note, look, I'm out of here. Downy, but enjoy the journey. All right. And again, JD, man, I love you. Appreciate you dropping in on. You blessed me last night, man, in a way you don't have any idea. Holla at you. Everybody else, you guys take care.
They said I should give it up, like that just ain't good enough.
Hello everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in with a little special announcement for those who have followed me for any stretch of time. You know, outside of the businesses that I run, like Myriad Business Solutions, the Visionetics Institute, Odyssey Media Group, I also do a great deal of work inside of the inner city communities in Houston, Dallas, and other areas. I'm asking now, as we push a fundraiser, that you support what the Odyssey Project is doing in the inner cities, especially with programs like Black Men Lead, which is a rite of passage initiative, and Restoring Ghetto's Forgotten Daughters, which is a program focused on helping young girls, but boys as well, suffering from childhood sexual abuse, rape, molestation, domestic abuse, absentee fatherhood, and so many other things. The information will be in the box. Thank you.
I'm free to be whoever